So I've gotten to watch the AI ecosystem for content and tools for creators really evolve and grow over the past few years. And that's because at this point, just about every single major consumer AI company that wants to access the North American or European market is going to flow through me at some point. And so I get this very interesting perspective where I see what the big companies are doing and kind of their tools or angles and how they want to promote their tools and services and products. And then also the startups and some of the more creative and kind of esoteric ideas out there. And my conclusion in terms of AI for content and for social media is that just in the past quarter, the past 2 or 3 months maybe, have we gotten to a point where I think we're on the precipice of end-to-end AI content. And by that I mean video content, not text. That was cracked years ago. But AI being able to end-to-end create video that looks realistic, that is engaging, and being able to build brands, build creators, build businesses out there through social media and content distributors and platforms. In this video, I want to talk through that change, what's important now, and how I think you can go and build businesses like that. And then not in this video, but on this channel, we cover all of the different tools that materially enable you to do that. So that's going to be this video. Let's hear a word from the sponsor and then we'll get into it. So guys, your AI agents are searching the wrong internet. The most valuable data on the internet lives outside of what Google and Perplexity actually surface. You're talking SEC filings, GitHub repos, legal databases, research, security threat feeds, all the data that professionals and agents actually need. And yet all of those popular search tools, your Perplexity, your Brave, your Google, and even most of the agents you're already running miss all of it. And that is exactly the gap that AnySearch is built to close. And AnySearch is the search infrastructure built for the AI era. One API key gives you instant access to a huge database of specialized data sources across finance, law, science, security, geography, and more. And the routing is fully automatic. So you don't tell AnySearch what database to query. Its intent classifier reads what you're asking, sends it to the right sources, and then when multiple sources hit, it fuses the results, ranks them by quality, deduplicates, and finally hands back clean markdown that your LLM can actually parse. So here's what that actually looks like in practice. Here's me researching a product for an upcoming video and trying to find actual user feedback past a wall of affiliate listicles. So here's same query with 2 tools side by side. So I didn't tell it where to look. It read the query, routed it to the right places, and then handed back something that's actually usable. Now again, this is not designed for you to read. It is designed for your agents to use. So you plug it into your Claude desktop or Windsurf as an MCP server, and then run your agent like you normally would. And then when it needs to look something up, it can route automatically through AnySearch. And because it's agent native, the responses are low token, so your costs are very reasonable on longer run. Now, AnySearch is freely available for developers to try, and it can be integrated into any AI agentic workflow. So the link is the first one in the description, and the GitHub is linked there as well. So go give it a try. Again, that's the link on the screen or in the description. And now back to the video. So text, again, was cracked years ago. That was the first stage in being able to automate a lot of content, because a lot of video content does involve words. I'm speaking to you right now. And even if I'm on camera, maybe I'm reading from a script that was completely written by AI, right? That could have been the case. That is the case for a lot of people out there as of 2023, 24, 25. So that was really stage 1, and that absolutely was a jump, but it's not anywhere close to being able to end-to-end run these things with AI. And then you saw the development of 2 things simultaneously, which is AI being able to create visuals on one side of things and then voice on the other side. And those still aren't all the way there. That was like 24, 25, so kind of the past 2.5 years, where those tools really started to hit their stride, where you have the image and video tools getting a lot better. That's your VO, your Seedance, your Kling. And then AI voices now have gotten to a point where they're extremely realistic. They have tonality. I think the easiest example of that is going to the ChatGPT app and just talking to the voice agent and just talking to the the voice, it is really good. And then you see these other platforms like Noise, ElevenLabs that have really, really good voices. And so you combine those things and you can now automate a lot of videos where maybe there's no human in them, but there are visuals or there's something being said, or it uses footage from somewhere else. And then you have the voice or the narration on top where AI is able to do the scripting and the voiceover. But those two pieces are not the end game. That was the start of the end game. But what hadn't been cracked were realistic humans and then really good lip sync. And then finally, the ability of AI to manage workflows across different apps and integrations and basically be the infrastructure or the behind the scenes for this kind of thing. And that is what in the past quarter we have finally hit, where those three verticals for upgrades have converged and are starting to hit their stride. They're not perfect, but it's all come together. And now it's just a realism. It's kind of a touch-up game as far as, oh, the lip sync is 98% accurate or the human realism is 3% off. But we are pretty much there, and that's the first time I can confidently say that after looking at the last 3, 4, 5 years. And so let's break that down more specifically. Number one, we have lip sync. There are tools out there now which are just about perfect with this. Like if you took a real human voice and the AI generates the video, or vice versa, you took an AI voice lip syncing to a real human or AI to AI, it is perfect. Like you cannot tell the difference. And then maybe in the past 3 months, you've seen videos where it's like a human and then an AI kind of filter where it replicates the motion of the human, but with an AI human. Those are perfectly realistic. Tons of people are creating content with them. And the realism on pictures nowadays especially is, again, perfect. You can go create videos, and a lot of people do this, especially with models and very attractive people to sell stuff, where it is, you cannot tell the difference. It's game over in terms of realism, and those things will only continue to get better at an accelerating pace. So those were two of the main pieces, which are more visual in nature, and you'll hear news about them. The third, which we talk a lot about on this channel that is less reported out there, is just the back end. Like how would you, for example, go create 1,000 videos a day with AI across 100 different media channels, right? That's kind of the organizational or the infrastructure question, which maybe you and I won't do that. And maybe that's not the ideal strategy for actually deriving value or a business from these tools, but that is 1,000,000% what a lot of people are going to do. And now you start to have the tools to do it. You have the MCP infrastructure, you have, for example, Claude and Chrome. You have agents that can run on your desktop and your computer. They can have their own social media accounts. They can operate 24/7 autonomously. That whole layer combined with these other visual tools mean that you can have agents that direct these other sub-tools, and they can autonomously do everything from script to generate voices, to generate visuals, to titling, to thumbnails and covers, to then posting, responding to comments. They can do it all. They can do everything involved in a modern content business, whether a solo creator posting on social media, more of a responding to news or kind of coverage type content, all the way through to creative animations. Whatever it is, AI can now do all of it. Is the quality 100% there? No. But that's the curve we're seeing now, where it can all be done and people are doing it. They will start to do it in bulk, although I think we're still really early. And then any kind of a quality spread there between people doing it manually and the AI doing it, right? The AI content and then AI content businesses is going to compress and compress until it gets to zero. We're not there yet, but we are close. And what it makes up today in the quality not being there, it makes up for 1,000 times over in speed and automation and volume, which is why people are already starting to pick these tools up and run these businesses in this kind of way. So is that good? In a lot of ways, I think not. And I think what we're going to start to see is just human-gated social platforms where people will algorithmically try to differentiate human versus AI content and just kind of put a wall up between the two. But for now, it's just free game. And a lot of people are going to try to scale this thing up as far as they can and have tens, hundreds, thousands of different social accounts or businesses that are autonomously run with agents. And in terms of how I would frame the different opportunities there, if that's something you're thinking about, Number one is just directly monetize that content, right? Like being monetized on YouTube or X. I think Facebook now pays creators up to like $3,000 a month just for posting reels, because apparently for whatever it is, option one is just directly monetize that content. That works. You just need a lot of scale and it's very niche dependent, but you can do really well that way, right? YouTube can pay people like in the AI and business niche 10, 20, 30, $50+ CPMs. So you don't need that much scale to make a pretty good income doing it that way. What a lot of other people are starting to doing, or the second kind of big category there in terms of the opportunity, is just selling those things to companies. What you're doing there is you're going into a company that spends $50,000 a month on their social team and making content, and you just say, I will rip out this set of deliverables that you spend $30,000 of that $50,000 a month on, and I'll do it for 10. The company's happy, they save $20,000, you're happy because it only cost you 5. And if the deliverables are the same because the quality is there, that's a win-win-win, except for the people that got fired, which is very not good for them. But maybe they go do other things inside the company. Let's hope that works out. And then the third big kind of category or opportunity I'm seeing there is just ads, where a lot of platforms and companies and individuals are switching their ad funnel and their content for ads over to fully end-to-end AI generated ads. So if you are going to do well, generate value out there with these kind of advancements, again, as a recap, it's probably going to be making your own content and monetizing that directly, selling the kind of content you made to other companies as a service, or for use in ads for maybe your existing product or service business. So that is what I wanted to cover in this one. For better or worse, we certainly live in interesting times, and there is a lot of opportunity out there. And I think that is an area worth exploring if you work in content. That's the video. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.